Cool Matt's still going to be able to get out of there, but that's some ult charge for space that he got for free, so he'll be ahead of the game in terms of getting up to that self-destruct.
Okay. Fate is on the Rhine, so they're not going to go for the Winston strategy as described earlier. I think they're just going to try to barrel everybody through the front door.
I'm wondering if this is some tech that they figured out, right? That the Valiant, they're going to be running Rhine, so they decide to match it. They're not worrying about Winston. But exactly, there it is. Winston comes into play because you have that verticality on this first point. Huh.
Yeah, it takes them some time to get back, but, go in with your proper composition. And now they're just going to walk right up Broad Street, little bubble, and Fate decided if he was going to commit or not.
It's nice to back off.
Raucous gets very low.
I mean, you just see a lot of the fighting happening on that first balcony there. That first choke point, Winston's there cleaving everybody. We've seen Winston's get up to 50% within the first, 2 seconds of a fight. It's bonkers.
Now the question, they're just going to put pressure on the point. They decide not to go with the full rotation. Fate's going to jump in over top all alone. He's putting a lot of pressure on, has to drop down.
Cool Matt in the back line right now, just making sure that he can contest on this point. Darts back to safety. And they're doing a good job right now, Houston Outlaws, of hanging out here, although Cool Matt going to get overwhelmed. No self-destruct available for him to just get a fresh mech, so he's going to have to survive a while longer. And this sets up the Valiant now to start making some serious progress. First tick picked up on the point.
Yeah, Transcendence comes out early for both sides. They try to pick it up. The Graviton's going to come in from Spree, and there should be nothing but the cleanup here for Houston. They've got Space really far back. Space is in his own dimension. He might just be trying to find a reset somewhere else. But they had Space cornered early in that fight, and they chose not to pick him up, which was interesting. It does cost him 1 tick, but the Valiant are able to hold this first point.
Yeah, Spree's doing a good job of charging his grav as well, so throwing it out at the end, it's pretty much just like the period at the end of the phrase. It's over, it's done. We're going to move on to the next fight, and he's going to start charging up that ult again pretty quickly here.
Well, Muma's got Shatter, and Fate is nowhere near it again, so that could be a big difference here if they can try to crack that shield. Both teams going to rally and smash faces.
Yep, smash right into each other. Shields clash. Muma going for a ride. Runs into agilities, and they're dropping low on the Outlaw side. Great damage getting poured on here by the Valiant. Muma's gone, but Izayaki as well. No Discord Orb is going to make it more difficult for the Valiant to find follow-up kills, but they do get a second tick, and now it's on the Outlaws here to get into this fight.
They're going to ultra commit to. Sound Barrier comes down. Fate looks for the slam, unable to get there. Now the Transcendence is going to fade while they're in the Graviton Surge.
Oh, excellent play, though. We have that delayed Sound Barrier that comes through, and that's shutting the door on the Valiant. Despite their best efforts on the Valiant side, good ult management there from the Outlaws means that they're relegated back to spawn. They only have a minute on the clock.
That's about 1 push when it comes to Nimbani. These buses here usually are to transport people from spawn to the point, but they broke down. It's a long walk to get in your offensive position to try to take this point. So it's the last best chance for the Valiant to complete point A.
Because it's like, what do you do when they break down? If they have no wheels. I mean, if they had wheels, maybe you could push them, and then you could actually maybe do something about it. But instead, no, they're just sitting there, hunks of metal. Useless. Man, that's infuriating.
I look forward to your thesis on future tech. All right, as they roll in up top, this is the last chance for the Valiant. They do have Transcendence, but not much else. Fate's got his slam up, and that's a huge first kill. Jake dies so often. First on Brigitte in these team fights. Highest in the league, I believe, dying first on Brigitte in the league.
Yeah, exactly. Jake just getting picked off far too often, and that's going to lead to the rest of the team crumbling around him. Houston Outlaws, they were looking good, but it's going to be the Los Angeles Valiant capping the point with 15 seconds on the clock. They get a boost. They're up to 2 minutes 40 now. But the Houston Outlaws, they're a bit of a shame that looked like they could have held.
Yeah, and they did it without having to use anything. That's how important the Brigitte first kill can be. So we'll see where the defense wants to set up. Usually it's around this first corner, but you want to wait for everybody to get there. Nice aggressive push here by the Valiant.
And Outlaws trying to take up an aggressive position of their own, looking for an angle around the side. It's already around the bend, though, the payload. And they're just going to rally straight into this fight. Rally on rally. Both teams getting the beefy armor. The shatter goes through. Doesn't connect, though. And it's going to be the counter shatter. How does our follow-up? Yes, we have it falling together like dominoes. Izayaki now with the trance to cancel it out. Self-destruct, though. Perfectly timed. Going to blow up Izayaki. No longer invincible. And that's a one fight here for the Houston Outlaws.
Able to displace Fate there. And when the smoke clears, it's only going to be one ultimate up on each side.
And they cancel each other out as well. If Kareev is like, oh, we're going to just grab. Well, then Raucous has got the trance to cancel. So unless you can eliminate Raucous, there is an answer to the grab.
Right, so Raucous needs to play a little more passive here. He's gotten picked off in some strange instances as the league has gone on. But right now, it's all about staying alive and holding your Q. Jake goes down first.
Jake again goes down. Really regrettable. It's going to make it tough here for his team. Spree, because of that, gets cut off. Boink will find Kareev, so we have a trade on the Zarya. Shatter just thrown out there by Muma. Unfortunately, doesn't connect with anybody. And it's not looking like the Valiants are going to have to use anything. Raucus decides to use his trance, so they're really going for this. Hail Mary play coming in here from the Houston Outlaws. Fate gets overwhelmed, but they're really just throwing everything into this fight here on the Outlaw side, buying valuable time. Less than a minute on the clock for the Valiant. Every second matters.
It buys time, but this will get cleaned up eventually. Boink will fall. Matt will fall as well. And just to hit home the numbers on Jake dying first, he's got a league worst rate of first death in team fights as Brigida at 15%. Houston have won exactly how many team fights of that similar?
None.
Yes. Yep, big zero. Big old 0 team fights won when Jake dies first on Brigida.
So
the trend continues.
Put this guy in the back line and just unbind his W, right? You know, it's like, no, you just stay there.
Well, one more fight incoming as Valiant nearing the second checkpoint.
Yeah, Soundbarrier used, as well as Grab will eventually find a couple of targets. Not fully charged up, though. And we will have a couple of kills going the Valiant's way, and that is going to be a very solid offense here for the Valiant, holding on to the ults as well on Fate and Izayaki. And now Houston Outlaws, well, they've given up the second point. Only a minute and a half left on the clock, though, for the Valiant. I mean, they're giving ground, Houston Outlaws, but they're really making Valiant work for it. So not a whole lot of time in the bank.
Really nice chase there to make sure that Matt ends up dying towards the tail end of that fight. Now, ultimates seem to be in favor right now of Houston as everyone's nearing getting there except for Boink. Fate's got to start hitting these shatters. He has not gotten a whole lot out of it. There's a big one, 3 on the ground.
Big stuns going through. Houston Outlaws going to get wiped out on this fight. Cool Matt finds Izayaki, but that's just fine. No problem there. And now Valiant going to make some real progress here towards the third point. This is going to put Houston with their backs to the wall. They will respawn altogether. They have ults online now that they can use. Grav, they could go for the Grav self-destruct combo.
Well, they're going to play this a little bit passive because they're trying to ferry back their support. So now it's time to go. Now the Lucio service has arrived with Izayaki in tow. Izayaki still holding on to Transcendence. Going to be really important for Spree's grab. There's the grab.
Oh, there's the grab. Thrown out. Trance is there from Izayaki. One after the other, they follow. The self-destruct thrown over the top, finds no targets. And the Shatter will lay Agilities out. And there's the focus coming through. Jake as well chiming in. And that's a big kill here for the Outlaws.
They think they have time to back up.
Dude, are they correct in that assumption?
15 seconds, but in the retreat, you walk slower going backwards. They clean up Fate. They clean up space. They're not even going to kill him.
Space. Yeah, that's perfect.
And now it's desperation for the Valiant to finish this. I think they should have just gone forward. Maybe they'll get there. Bubble on Lucio touches.
Yeah, he touches it, so there we go, into the overtime. And now it's about just taking this fight, trying to get around the corner. Agility's getting focused, though, and a great stun combo onto Kuki. No Lucio now in the fight for the Valiant. That's certainly not going to help things. Space goes down before he can get a mech. And there's a Shatter thrown out by Fate, but no possible follow-up. I mean, Jake is going to go down, but there is still a huge edge here for the Houston Outlaws unless they throw this away somehow. We're getting a bunch of kills on the board for the Valiant.
I can't believe they brought this back, and they are fighting in full force. Now Kuki is back. They should be able to get here. Izayaki just on the cleanup crew. A rally to try to speed out. Not
and
there
you have it. What in blazes? Valiant able to turn it around at the very bitter end. And all 3 points here for the Valiant. Well, okay then. We're going to take a quick break and we'll see if the Houston Outlaws are capable of the same. everybody. Welcome back. We're going to get into the game. And now, straight into it, we've got a replay here of Izayaki. Strong performance from him, essentially, well, made it all happen here for the Valiant, just getting all of the kills when this team needed it. This is it, the heroic display. And, well, I mean, it was the same thing, same story on Control as well. First map of this series, Izayaki already kicking it off with kills.
It's been a bright spot for him. I really didn't think that the Valiant should have been retreating there with 15 seconds left, because normally if you send Lucio into touch, he's just going to get cleaned up immediately. Yeah. What happened there is that Houston let Kuki touch and then leave and then touch again. So when the Lucio comes in just in desperation, you have to secure that kill. Because I thought, you lost one, so go forward. The best you're going to have is going, fighting 5v6 anyway. Houston let him off the hook.
Houston. Time to get it together. Jake doing a lot of talking right now. Raucous as well. Trying to coordinate. They will go for a wrap onto the low ground. Muma on the Shatter monster is certainly going to help things. On the Reinhardt, that is.
Full rotation all the way around. Izayaki a little bit low. Got to heal him up. Know where your bread is buttered. Meanwhile, while those resources go to Izayaki, Space gets desperately low. Has to go pick up a pack. First kill on Jake. Let's see if they can break their winless record of when Jake dies first in team fights.
Hey, Hex, you know what the answer is? No! Get out!
Dad?
Valiant, man, Valiant. They brought out the belt, Hex, they brought out the belt.
I always choose the wrench. All right, Fate has Earth Shatter ready to go. Agilities with a rally ready to go. A full and clean team fight win for the Valiant puts them in great economic position as far as their ultimate abilities are concerned. Houston going to try a different strategy now. Not going to walk up Broad Street. Going to try to rock the stairs, but Valiant are in position for this. They're ready.
They are ready indeed on the high ground. Fate, you can see the shields in position. And then Fate's just like, guys, okay, he isn't alone. Kuki's there. Kareev as well.
All right, so right up Broad Street again. Fate will drop down.
It's the dance of all dances.
Back around the other side.
And they're trying to make them think that they're going back up to the high ground here. Houston Outlaws trying to get clever. Instead, they're going to go straight onto the point, hoping to catch somebody out of position. There was a stun used on Fate, but no follow-up, so no kill. Raucous with the trance out in the open. Izayaki properly delays his, so his team will have a little bit of an edge in this fight in terms of healing.
Now these grabs are going to get very interesting here. A huge shatter against the grab, but he gets pushed out. Kuki goes down as the shield negated. Self-destruct finds Vader.
Oh, the focus was great there. We're getting all the follow-up. Raucous hanging on. Barely in this fight. The rally used by Jake, and they will succeed, it looks like. Space having to fly back to the rest of his team. 2 players survive for the Houston Outlaws. That is it.
I wonder if they have anyone in position
they can contest this. They better contest this. Get up there, Fate.
Yeah, they're coming around. They're coming around. They know that they have the numbers here. They have the respawn advantage. Have to get the supports in here, though. Space is all alone, and he's out of mech.
Yeah, they did a great job of pushing Fate back. Fate dropped so low, he had to try and back off, and that left Space vulnerable. And now we're going to get a great fight coming through here for the Houston Outlaws. From Cool Matt's perspective, he gets to go for a wild ride. And Izayaki is eventually going to fall. Boink to get the final blow there.
Agility's almost clutched that fight. He saved Izayaki once with an emergency pack, and now they're still going to throw everything into it. The kills keep on coming for the Valiant, and Izayaki died early, but he's got Transcendence for the next fight. A great re-contestion by the Los Angeles Valiant. Yep. And Agilities did so much work there on his healing, keeping his fellow supports alive. Really good pack usage there late, kept Izayaki alive longer, even though he died eventually, but now he's got Transcendence because he stayed alive and dealt damage.
Balanced out by Raucous. We may get the Zoom-Yadas to kick things off here. We don't have the rallies just yet. Agility's just used his. Jake nearing his, and once again, the focus fire onto Jake. He nearly drops, but a big shatter gets thrown out. Everybody taking a quick nap. Now back into the action. And it will be the rally used by Jake. Managed to get that online, so his team going to get a bit beefier. Definitely want to get some of that armor on Raucous.
Kuki was dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight, and he gets sent back to spawn for it. Kareev down, Space down, Fate down.
And the wipe. This time there is no contest possible for the Valiant. Everybody sent back to spawn, and they will succeed. Houston Outlaws, pretty much exactly the same timeline as Valiant.
Kuki was just dancing around. He was right behind Fate's shield and chose to get on the wall, I believe, over it. Took a lot of damage, and the fire strike went through Fate's shield and took him out afterwards, but...
So to say, what's so shocking about that? I mean, that's what Lucio's are all about.
Yeah,
right?
but when there's a shield in front of you and the rest of the team shooting at you.
They're vandals, you know? They're just leaving skid marks all over the walls and everything. Just, man, come on, Lucio.
All right, as we set up on the cart, It's going to be the Valiant trying to push them back and take this corner hold. You want to push them all the way back to spawn. Grab out.
Oh, there's the grab. Bubbles are here, though. Muma's got the shield as well. No follow-up possible. Big shatter, though. 3 nailed. This could be it for the Houston Outlaws. Great focus fire onto Fate to kick things off. You lose Muma, but then you trade him for Karif, and you'll take that every day of the week. Houston Outlaws now, they've got an edge in this fight.
Now the rally comes out, but that is all alone. Agility's getting focused on the cart. Somehow stays alive with the rest of his team. He's getting orbs on him. And this one should have been over. Houston's not cleaning it up quickly enough, in my opinion, but here it comes.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the damage now from Spree. He's fully charged up. Angry Hornets now. And that is going to be a one fight for Houston. And you're right, it did take a bit longer, but they will succeed. Minute and 20 seconds on the clock now. And there is going to be a chance here for the Valiant to contest once again before the second point.
I'm just worrying about Houston's focus right now, especially focus fire and target calling, because it's what happened on their defense on Numbani, and also there you should have been able to clean up agilities easily.
Nearly there. A meter away from the point. And this is a must-win fight now for the Valiant. Sound barrier gets thrown in on both sides. Everybody is a bit beefier. Muma hanging in there. And now there's the grab. Do we have the follow-up? Self-destruct. Chucked high, it looks like, for a moment there, unless I'm mistaken. No, it was just Pool Mat flying around.
It's the juke. He didn't have self-destruct ready just yet, but now the counter transcendence. They try to clean up. Everybody's all over the place on this one.
Yeah, this is
high ground for Spree. This is a bad position to be in against an opposing Zarya.
He just gets to beam him down.
He's not even using his keyboard.
He's just beaming him down. He doesn't even need to move. It's all about that aim, and they will succeed in finding the second point here on the Outlaws side. Minute 55 on the clock, and Spree just looking to exactly rain in death and destruction. He's fully charged, man.
My ultimate is charging.
Spree has been doing some work here. He is their Zarya specialist.
Dude, there you go, up to 100 again. Come and fight this guy. He's going to be like a, well, I was going to say a wrecking ball, but we already have one of those. He's going to ruin your day. Jake with the rally to initiate, to kick things off. Spree, there it is, hidden in the corner. Manages to get the grab down. He is going to be taken. No, not. He gets eaten. That's no good, but they will get the follow-up play from Cool Man. 2 big kills here. Traded versus Spree, and we lose Muma as well. And without Spree, they're going to be lacking the damage on the Outlaws side.
Yeah, Spree is responsible for 25% of their team damage. So losing him means you're not really going to be able to kill anybody. On the other side of things, the damage is spread out much more equally. Izayaki, Fate, and Karif all about the same number.
That was such a big D-Matrix there to get that grab as well. Totally thought it went off. Clever positioning, but not quite able to hide it.
50 seconds, nearing what could be a final fight here. Izayaki in good shape. A lot of ultimates now coming online for the Valiants. Only Muma nearing Shatter and a couple support ults for Houston.
Yeah, we'll have that sound barrier. Boink has been very good about using it at the appropriate time, mirrored by Kuki on the other side. So the advantage is here for the Valiant. Now it's about them just working together, getting some of that coordination down. Muma trying to bait the Shatter. Fate kind of playing the same game.
Yeah, they're going to give up as much ground as they feel they need to. They only need to win one fight.
I mean, this is great for Fate. He's like, yeah, I'm taking damage, but my supports are getting all of the charge off of this. Now we've got all 3 support ultimates online here for the Valiant. Agility is going to decide now's the time to rally. We'll get a bubble on Fate to let him push forward. And now Jake, once again, Jake just dropping so low.
Spree got his grab ton up. Karif did now too. Let's see who can execute these combo plays.
Just the standoff now. Who is going to flinch first? Who's going to make the big mistake that can cost it for their team?
Spree.
Jake gets the rally, keeping everybody up. This time the grab goes down. That's going to be bringing the Houston Outlaws through. Trance is used by Raucus, though, to keep him up, and the sound barrier as well. Going to get a bit more ground here. They're so close to the third point. Izayaki has to use the trance just to contest.
That's fine. Spree just launched his Graviton into a defense matrix's space, so now you're going to use the Transcendence without worry of Retribution. Fate very low, still poking around. Gotta get some kills here. Everyone's getting so low and getting healed back up. The longest fight on Numbani.
Yeah, nobody's got any ults now. Who's going to get an ult first? Agilities has nearly got the rally. Imagine he's going to smash that as soon as that comes through. Very close. Yep, sure enough. Gets the rally, uses it instantly, trying to make a difference here for his team. Somebody's got to win out.
Self-destruct comes up over the back, looking for something, not able to find it, but Jake takes down Agilities.
Oh, but then the grab comes through. Instant counter. Kuki with 2. And Fate's going to get it as well. This might be it for the Valiant. A big win at the very end. We're into the overtime. And Outlaws, they're falling one after another. Rock is forced to use the trance just to contest, but this is a one fight for the Valiant. They got it done, Hex.
It's millimeters. Izayaki got his Transcendence first. The rest of the Outlaws died before Rockers could get his there. The Valiant put themselves on the board.
What a fight. And eventually they do manage to win out. The Valiant finally finding some success here in this series. We're tied up 1-1 going into the halftime show.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered. And by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right.
The LA Valiant are trying to avoid a winless stage one. And, well, they've got their work cut out for them after a very close final fight. They've tied up the series 1 apiece with the Outlaws at the half. Welcome back to the Blizzard Arena. We have an awesome crowd. It is a packed Saturday. Love seeing it. So many great games coming your way, and this one super tight. It's Puckett, we got Zoe, we've got Bren, and Bren is unhappy with how clean this game has been. Bren, why are you so upset right now?
Yeah, I've been moaning in the back, haven't I, about the state of this game. I'll get into it throughout the highlights, I think, because I do want to talk a little bit about the positives of these teams, starting with Link's driving on the Widowmaker in particular.
Jerry's back, baby.
He's been popping off. This is definitely a tailored strategy coming out from the Houston Outlaws. You can tell this. They're playing to their strengths a lot of the time. Valiant have read this very well. You can notice, actually, Izayaki playing the Ana as a result. They know this because they're not going to be running a Diva for the majority of this map. That's how they can get away with it here.
So many headshots from this guy. And so we saw a lot of this last season, but not a ton here in 2019.
Yeah, I mean, we're still waiting to bring those DPS comms back, but if you can do it on a map, it will be Busan. General control maps leave a little bit more space of creative team compositions, as we've seen from many of the teams. Dante had a great game also. A lot of fantastic EMPs were hit. And yeah, it was great to see Linkster back. He has the ability to flex from that Widowmaker onto the Zarya, so they can play it either way, whatever is needed. And yeah, he did fantastic on the Widowmaker.
Every fifth shot, a headshot.
Yeah,
Pretty good
I'm
stuff.
going to say, that's actually very impressive. Like, that is in the top percentile of a lot of Widowmaker players will be aiming for around 20% on their critical hit accuracy. Speaking from my experience, I can manage about 15 at my best day. So, like, that puts
You're
it into perspective.
underselling yourself.
That puts it into
Reggie.
perspective, though, how good these players are on the stage. And the fact that Linkster is actually doing this now here today as well is key reasons as to why they managed to take the first map.
Now, we showed all highlights there from Houston for the first game, but that went to 3 rounds. Very tight game. The second game, just as tight, not as clean. Let's take a look back at some of the big blunders that we saw coming out of the Outlaws here, because they let LA back into this one.
I've got to call this out. I've got to call out the support usage coming out from the Outlaws here. I think they're going to be kicking themselves when they review this later on in the VOD reviews. It was honestly not great. Like, this sound barrier here as well, when I saw this, I had to clip it out. I had to select it because that's a case example. Why are they thinking that they can win that fight when they're only 3 up in that team fight pushing forward? They could save that sound barrier for a later fight, have another chance to try and win it out a little bit later on into the series, but instead, this was a reoccurring theme for me that I did spot, was this mismanaging of support ults coming out from Houston.
Yeah, I mean, that was the beginning of Numbani, really, was the story of misusage of support ults, or ults in general were very liberally used. However, I think towards the end, it was more of an issue of focus fire, not quite being on spot for Houston Outlaws, so I hope they clean it up in the next half.
Well, Brent, I have to ask you before we end this halftime, who walks away with this match? Are you going with Houston, or is it LA getting their first win?
I was so torn when we were predicting this match before we were going live today. I'm still torn now, honestly, moving forward. Like, I knew it was going to be close between these two teams. I'm still going to be sticking with Houston. Apologies to the LA crowd. I am going to be sticking with the Houston Outlaws still for this one. I feel like they should be able to fix their mistakes if they listen to me in this half.
Zoe, official prediction. Get it quick.
Well, still Houston. I'm not going to change.
Still Houston. Both going Outlaws. I think it's wings out today. I don't know why, but 0-7 is not the way they start the season. Guys, that's going to do it for our half. And while there is plenty of speculation on what will replace the current meta in the near future, a lot of people are saying that it's going to be the Bunker Cup. It's the next big thing, guys. And if that's true, you're going to want to step up your Orisa game. There's no one better to help you learn how to play Orisa than Muma from the Houston Outlaws. This is Game Set, sponsored by Omen by HP.
Muma's able to stay alive and get a lot of good damage.
Boomer, absolutely no mercy.
My name is Austin Muma Wilmot, and I play for the Houston Outlaws. Orisa, she's like a very stationary tank opposed to a Reinhardt. He's a little bit more mobile with his shield, but Orisa's she's a lot better just picking one space and controlling it. Here are my settings, mostly all default, all low graphics. I play on 75 render scale. Everything else is really as low as it can go. I play on 4.33 cents. My mouse is 2000 DPI, which is pretty high, but it's what I've always used. Here's my crosshair, just small, yellow. I play main tank, don't really have to aim. Most of my keybinds are all defaults, except I also have crouch bound to mouse wheel down, just so I can like spam it and make it harder to headshot me. My melee is also on my mouse 5, and yeah, the rest of it's default. When I'm playing Orisa and I'm trying to choose who to deal damage to, I usually want to aim for the people that are putting my team at the most risk. It's also kind of good to shoot at their squishy supports because you can use your hults. There are a lot of different unique combos that Orisa can do with her hult. Got the Roadhog, we can do some hook combos. You can also try to pull people high for your like snipers to headshot them. It's a really good combo with like Dragon Strike. Fortify is pretty good when you're still relatively healthy, so if you can fortify like earlier opposed to later, it's usually a lot better. Fortify is also very strong against Reinhardt because when you see him going for a charge, you can use your Fortify and stand in front of him. Shooting your shield vertically is a tactic that you can use when you know that you are going to be controlling this one specific space and you don't want to be moving much. The cooldown starts when the shield hits the grounds, and then if you shoot another shield while the first shield is up, the cooldown starts when you press the button, but the first shield will stay until that one hits the ground, and then you see it hits the ground, and then I have 3 seconds left on the cooldown, and it just gives you like a lot of shield tempo, and it's really useful.
the screen. There we go. We're back in the action, lads. And well, it's tied series, Hex. 1-1.
It is tied, and I kind of agree with Puckett here that this one might be going the Valiant's way, mostly because of the remaining maps. I mentioned it was going to be important for Houston to get on the board early here.
Yes.
But they're 0-2 on Volskaya.
Yes.
Next map is Volskaya. And if you're a Houston fan, you don't like the words Route 66 very much at all.
Tell
historically,
me why.
Well, they're 0-2 and historically just bad. Just bad for them overall. Maybe Ben can give me the last year's stats, but it has been good this year. Dante will be coming in for Cool Matt as we go to Volskaya, so perhaps some Sombra play incoming. Volskaya is one of the maps that Sombra got very popular on.
Indeed, we saw that throughout last season. Here is the map set, and if you need pictures to go with words, right, Volskaya, there you go. And Route 66 to follow as the 4th map. So, you're right, Sombra, big plays, Dante. I mean, at this point, you got to do everything. You got to stack the deck in your favor if you're Houston. Any kind of edge you can find, you need if you've got such a terrible streak on these maps. But if you win fights using Dante and his EMPs, well, then just put him in, coach. Yeah. Just get him into that fight for the Houston Outlaws. At this point now, though, it really is a lot of pressure on the Valiant. They have to know these statistics. They have to know that the game favors them now in terms of winning this series. Now it's just about getting it done.
In the current meta, it's all about who makes less mistakes. And luckily for the Valiant, that Houston simply just made a few more mistakes than they did. Valiant wasn't playing the cleanest, wasn't playing perfectly, but Houston was unable to slow them down. On Numbani, got a little bit of momentum here. And like I said, Valiant, the map pool favors them going forward. Might be able to get out of the stage with a win.
That would be big. It would also be disastrous for the Houston Outlaws because they are still in the running for the Stage 1 playoffs. It's tight, and they need to get this done clean. They need to win out now on the Houston side to really set themselves up. And obviously, it's kind of a Shanghai thing. You don't want to be the first team to lose to the Valiant this year.
Right. I've actually talked to Houston during last season, and they said we prepped extra hard for Shanghai because we didn't want to be the first team to lose to Shanghai.
Yeah.
Valiant are not the same as Shanghai, but they are winless. You still never want to be the first team to lose to a winless team.
Exactly. Alarm bells are ringing. Dante just kind of playing around, chipping away. He's up to 60% already on his EMP, so that EMP is going to be online quick for this fight.
He's done a good job. Trying to take over this high ground. High ground's so important in all of Overwatch. Volskaya first, especially. Now just kind of poking, prodding away. Dante gets in there. Yeah, only Jake remains on the high ground now, so the rest of the Outlaws will fall.
Jake, why you got to do this? I mean, he's staying up there. If he gets focused, though, they could pounce him. Kuki's going to try and knock him off the high ground. That was so close. Kuki not perhaps expecting Dante to be up there still. He gets melted, and now we've got the EMP online. Sure enough, and guess what's going to happen? Boom! EMP, not before they lose rockets, but then their follow-up. It's brutal. Houston Outlaws. That could not have gone better.
Well, that's the 22% buff you get when you put Dante into the Outlaws lineup. Worked perfectly for it. They played super, super patient. And I think if you're the Valiant, you have to just push forward into this. But now you know they shouldn't have EMP. But you do know that all the other ultimates should be coming online now. EMP charges a little bit faster, but Houston nearing Graviton. They've got support ultimates up. Muma's nearing Shatter, so still behind it.
Yeah, you'll notice that Fate has gone over to the Reinhardt as well, so he's way off that Shatter. We'll see when he gets that ultimate online if it will make all of the difference.
Nice
we
boop.
do have Izayaki, yeah, nice boop, but we have Izayaki with the trance online to counter out, the grab. So one follows the other. Muma gets focused. He's got to be careful. Doesn't want to overextend. Looking for the support from his team, and he will be able to back off in time. Riley used by agilities to keep everybody up, and just no kills coming through here for the Houston Outlaws. They don't necessarily have the Wombo combo with the self-destructs anymore to work with it. Well, they don't, clearly, because Dante's on Sombra.
That's another Valiant rally timing that has been concerning me as it's gone on. The rally comes out during non-essential moments, and then the armor starts to decay. Usually most teams use that to initiate fights and to fight in. That Valiant have something different planned for it.
Good ground giving. Jake out in the open once again, waiting for his team to follow up with them, and it's looking like they will be there. But the grab gets thrown into the back line, and this is it, the time to shine, and they will find the kills on the side of the Valiant. Nothing there to stop the grab, and when you're fully charged up the way Kariv is, you're going to do so much damage.
That's a full cleanup right there. Now what you want to look at is going to be the micro matchup between Dante and Izayaki. Is Izayaki going to be the hide-and-go-seek champion, staying out of those EMPs, getting Transcendence for his team to win, or does he get caught up in them? Dante, 85%, will have an EMP for this next fight, as he's going to be out here looking for targets early on just to charge it up, but even the passive charge would have got him there.
Well, let's go for a ride.
Aw.
See, that would have been fun. That would have been cool.
I mean, you can do it, but everybody's got to go with you.
Woo!
What's up, Lucio? Lucio, beat of his own drum.
There you go. Get buried in.
Love it.
Perfect. And then we're into the back line. But Houston Outlaws, of course, they saw this. So they are prepared. They are ready. And we will have the self-destruct initiate thrown in along with the grab here on the side of Spree. Going to get 2 kills. And just like that, it's a 1 fight for Houston. Actually getting the follow-up on the grabs this time.
The good thing is Houston didn't even need to use EMP there. So they're going to have it for the next fight. I don't know if Dante was going for it and got taken down by Izayaki. He did die to Izayaki, but that's just going to be a call you don't make anyway. Save the EMP.
Don't worry, he survived that. Screen didn't go blank. We didn't change away because the fire strike ate up space or whatever. Took a little bit of damage. That's it. Houston Outlaws, though, still willing to hold on the high ground and ready to rotate. And they're keeping eyes. They can see it. I mean, it's looking like the Valiant are kind of gathering up to do the same thing all over again.
I actually kind of like it because then you're not taking all this damage early on by just walking in when the other team has the high ground.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just going to make them fight on the point, and rather than taking chip damage from the high ground early on.
Look at Dante, though. Oh, he's in the perfect position. He could spot him out.
They found him.
They found him early, though, and they are going to be able to pick him off. He was looking so good for the EMP. Something must have held him up.
Now you got to fight quick. You got to fight clean and clean this up because the EMP will be coming back out, and you have to know it. Izayaki is going to look for kills, but also try to hide as much as possible. The rest of his team needs to put pressure on the point. They're going to get EMP'd here.
Where's Spree? Where's Spree? Spree is doing a lot of damage right now. And there it is, the EMP. But the trance goes off in the nick of time. Perfect play here from Izayaki. They are going to survive this for now, at least on the Valiant side. Trance thrown in by Raucus, though, going to allow for the Houston Outlaws to survive. And once again, Spree gets his grab eaten. That's not going to help things here for the Outlaws. Valiant, though, can they get it done quick? They're on the very bitter edge. Last-second contests come through here from the Outlaws, but they're not going to survive, and they will give up the ghost. Outlaws, the defense gets cracked, and the Valiant pick up 2 points on Volskaya.
It's been a map that they've struggled with. The Outlaws going to try their hand at offense on the other side of the break.
To get back into the action, Hex. Houston right now on the back foot. They're down 0-2 on Volskaya. Space once again finding the target that he was looking for in terms of the D-Matrix. Boop. You can see it just disappear, get deleted from existence right there.
Space has been a bright spot for this team since he's been called up to the main roster in the middle of last year. He's been such an impactful player. I love his style play on D.Va because he goes after people and they're like, okay, he's out of it. But he does that so that you start throwing in grabs and you start using abilities. Oh, no, 180, Eaton. He's gotten a couple already today. He's been great. Izyaki's been great. They've been bright spots for this team. And now the Valiant looking to take a lead in this series. They finished Volskaya, now on defense.
And now threading their way through. Different angle of approach here for the Outlaws. Perhaps trying to get up onto the balcony. Fate going to go ahead and challenge. He obviously wants to work on that primal. Nice stun, though, by Jake. Not going to really let him get the cleave he was looking for.
He's been hacked as well, and now they're going to try to collapse on him. He dropped his bubble. He's been stunned and deleted.
That's so big. What a great call. What a great play from Dante.
Isolated.
It's looking like Space deciding to try and survive this instead of fully committing. He backs out. He needs to stay alive. Now they're down a man. They're down their tank. Fate is back, but he's got a long way to run. And they're just giving ground right now, Valiant. Doing the best they can here to hold on. Space going to get demeched. Shot in the back.
But they got Spree. I wonder if they're going to come back in because Winston is mobile. He's back into the mix. He's ready to go. A rally comes out for Houston.
And they get deleted immediately. Just hard. Fate does get caught, but that's not going to help. In Houston, they succeed in picking up 2 ticks, and they will eventually get chased out of the first point. Interesting decision from Jake to rally there.
Now Spree is nearing his Graviton Surge. Space, 61% on his ultimate. See if he can eat up another one. He's been so good. Dante, that may have been a reset. Didn't see exactly what happened.
Yeah, it was a reset. He chucked himself off. I mean, he's going to have EMP for this next fight. We'll have Grav as well on the side of Spree.
Yeah, you can play it patient. Grav and EMP is a guaranteed team fight win. I think you EMP first and see if you can catch anybody out without using Grav, but then if things are still going bad, you
Because then you don't have to worry about D-Matrix and just chuck it. So, I mean...
Izayaki at 90% though, 92. He's getting there. Oh, and Dante had to bail out, so Izayaki might be able to get there before the Grav EMP is up.
You got to give it to Space. He's doing a great job of making life difficult for Dante.
He's been spy checking.
What
Perfect.
a snipe!
This Diva play has been sick onto Dante. He found him out. He's going the normal paths. He's been able to bully him out in a couple times.
Rally in. Spree the first one, and there's the focus fire coming in from the Valiant. Excellent work on their side. Not having to use anything apart from the rally.
I have no idea what to think of Agility's rallies, because sometimes they're perfect, like that one. Let's use it, let's clean up, let's make sure everybody gets some armor afterwards as well, and then sometimes they rally and then go back to spawn, or whatever they do with it. It's been so strange, so inconsistent. Still, though, the big ultimates online for Houston on their offense. Dante, Spree, Muammar, Rakas, everybody's got there except Jake. But now the support ultimates have come online for the Valiant. It's all about this hide-and-go-seek.
Yeah, this time Dante's sticking with the pack. So he'll be hanging out with the team. Looks like he'll be able to snake his way past. Yep, sure enough. And now up onto the high ground, or decided Wrath. We're keeping an eye on him because he has that EMP. The big AoE ult. Out in the open for him. Not going to have the speed. So he's just hanging out here waiting for the Valiant to commit. Sure enough, there it is. Gets the EMP off, but Izayaki was alive. Transcendence is there. Now it's about Houston Outlaws trading out, as we will have the Spree. Now the Grav is there, but the sound barrier is up on Kookie's side to give his team a bit of HP to work with, and it's going to work out for him as well. Spree instantly focused down by the Valiant, and it doesn't look like the Outlaws are able to capitalize.
Space bombed it into the corner, made them in a really tough position. Everybody getting very low. They're going to take out Jake as well. Space, man, he's been one of my favorite players for like 3 years. So good. So good.
I know, he is a beast.
20 seconds left.
Man. This is it, Hex. This is it. Valiant could pick up their first win of Stage 1. Houston Outlaws, they've had 10 seconds to get on that point, and they have to make their way through. I mean, it's a question of whether Dante can keep stealth or not, but the shots from Space, he's zoning him out. He might have actually got him.
The win condition is EMP Shatter here. They're close to it. Izayaki with another Transcendence available.
Space is so good. Spots him out again. Dante has to translocate back out to spawn pretty much. There it is. The trans-initiate agilities with the instant kill on Jake. Muma's going to go down as well. They don't have anything to work with on the Outlaw side.
EMP was ready. They got 2 on the way back because the Transcendence was used earlier. They thought it was their win right there to use Transcendence before the EMP came out. Now they're getting punished for it.
Oh, they're still hanging in here. Backs to the wall. Self-destruct over the top. And it will find Boink. Somehow Boink goes down to Spree as well. How are they turning this around? The Valiant making it happen at the very bitter end. Dante, he's going to translocate. He's going to be donezo here unless they can follow it up. Unbelievable. Houston Outlaws, another 2 kills somehow.
A wrecking ball comes in. Agilities is on it, but he gets pushed off the points. Oh, now the hamster takes a dive into the drink.
This is unreal. How does this keep going back and forth? It's Numbani 3rd point all over again.
Yeah, these teams are evenly matched and evenly committed to throwing stuff into fights. All right, EMP ready. This is a huge snowball potential here because they saw a lot of the ultimates come out for the Valiant. Kookie's got to get to his sound barrier. He's got to stay alive. Sound barrier will get stripped off if it's EMP'd on, but you can use it after.
Oh, Grav is used. No counter possible. They're getting melted. And
yep, holding.
Just like that. Perfectly done here by the Valiant. And now you've got sound barrier online for the next fight. Okay, Spree's got the grav, but Space was so prepared. As soon as that grav goes down, Space is just covering that whole area in his D matrix. He's like, you want to go for a counter? You want to go for it? I'm ready.
Still have their win condition up, though. It was a good job from Houston to not commit after that. They're like, oh, we got grav, just move on. Call it a day. They still have a decent time bank, although the time bank will be in favor of the Valiant if the Outlaws are able to take this point and we go to a second half.
Dante's actually in position this time, though. Managed to sneak his way into the back line without Space being able to take him out of stealth. So Dante could be able to get that big EMP off.
Space just disrupted their entire push by one boost. Now they have to reset and try to get back on the platform. Still looking for Dante.
Oh man, Dante could have all of them
He's
here.
chilling. You see him right there. Space was looking for him.
Does he catch him? Looks like it's possible. Yep, Space is definitely aware. Okay, they do manage to actually get onto this point now. There it is. Dante in the open. Goes for the EMP. Catches a whole bunch of them. Izayaki, though, evaded the hack. He eats the shadow, though, but the sound barrier is there, and he gets focused down before he can even use the trance.
They had a good sound barrier, though, which kept them alive, and now that's a kill from Space. Takes down Dante. 5v5 defender's advantage will come into effect, though. Izayaki's coming back.
Focus onto Jake once again. He somehow survives this, though. And from on high, Space just going to keep threatening them. Outlaws, they keep getting the setups by the looks of things, but they aren't able to clinch it.
Kuki's had an up and down season, but that was a great sound barrier there, and now he's already at 40%. It seems like he's starting to really get the hang of Lucio, which is so important in this 3-3. Of course, he was a former main tank player. It was going to take a bit.
Let's see. Now Boink trying to just create some space on high. Jake got to play careful. And now it's Muma just swinging away. Shatter into the back line. Raucus, all of the support there to keep him alive, and Muma's going to get fate. But now we have the self-destruct combo. No, not the self-destruct, but the grab is thrown in, and that's going to lead to 2 kills and a third as well. Muma gets overwhelmed. And we're down to a minute on the clock for Houston, and they don't even have a tick.
Had to use a bit there. Fate went really aggro with the charge onto his Shatter target. They were able to clean him up before that charge finished. But then it's good recognition by Houston, realizing everybody's low. We have to really commit to this. Otherwise, we just lost our main tank for nothing.
Space is on a 20-limb streak, by the way, as well.
Yeah, he doesn't really die, does he? EMP, Graviton, Shatter. Okay, let's just call it everything. Everything up for the Houston Outlaws going into this last fight, very likely. 45% or 45 seconds on the clock as they try to get in position. Fate trying to disrupt again.
Nice hack. Going to force him to take a little bit of a breather here. Kind of trading sides, but the EMP once again out into the open. 2 hacks this time, though. And the focus fire isn't quite there for Houston.
But it's just to buy time. The self-destruct is to buy time. Kuki's got sound barrier. He didn't hit the ground.
Didn't hit the ground, doesn't go off. Instead, now it's going to be the sound barrier used on Houston Outlaws side of things. We'll see if they're able to just win this clean now because they're still hanging in here. Kareem, but the bubble going to survive a little while longer.
Wait,
and they get that first tick.
You can't take the ults with them.
Agilities now. He's doing a good job buying time. Kuki's going to try and make his way out until the point. He gets stunned immediately. 2 ticks now. Soon going to be a third. Is there anybody here to get in time? It's not going to happen. Jake, the bouncer at the door, does not let him through. And we're tied up. We're tied up, Hex, 2-2.
Anybody's game in the battle of the green teams here today.
We're going to take a quick break, guys, and when we come back, we will have, well, the continuation of this third map. We're going to see. They're going to change sides. They're going to go again. Getting back into the action here. Valiant, because they have time in the bank, they will be on defense. The Houston Outlaws back on offense, and we're going to get a look here. Replay from one of those fights. This was the key one, perhaps. Yeah.
He was so low. So low trying to get the sound barrier off. It just came up. Kuki second away, and perhaps that would have bought them the 3 second. That would have pushed it into overtime, and would have made sure that the Valiant couldn't have lost this map. As it is, Houston 1 time to go. You have to believe that they're just going to try to farm up EMP and go with it. You only really have 1 good shot at this. 2, I guess, if you're super aggro, but it doesn't really work out all that well.
Not really with the big beef, no. Oh, wow, Valiant not holding back. They're just going to go into 6. cutting the team in half. Dante's been spotted. Instant headshot from Izayaki. He's going to force him back. But they've lost agilities on the side of the Valiant.
That's rough. That's a lot of healing, a lot of utility down. Now Sombra is not ever worried about being stunned. Kind of do whatever she wants. I mean, they're gonna fight this at some point. It's just a matter of when. Fate jumps in, 1v2 over in the backside, harassing Zarya. Kuki falls, oh, this is tough.
This isn't happening. This is not happening as far as Valiant are concerned. Spree doing the damage. They're going to get 2 ticks worth of progress, and this is definitely a 1 point here for the Houston Outlaws. They have to hightail it over to the second point as quick as possible, but there's a chance to catch stragglers. Doesn't look like they were quite able to do it.
They've got 30 seconds, and now they're in a great position. Now they will definitely wait for EMP. You have to. You're at 86%. It should be up momentarily. The Valiant's going to try to push the issue.
Let's see. They do manage to get the back up in time. Rally used here by Jake, getting everybody beefed up. Fate in the back line, just trying to swing.
Izayaki's got Transcendence. This is the battle, the micro battle as it has to be. Dante's going to EMP. Izayaki's hiding.
Yeah, he's not showing himself. He's way in the back corner. And there it is. Sure enough, Trance instantly, as soon as he hears the EMP go off, Trance is there from Izayaki, trying to keep everybody up. He's going to succeed at that for now. Grab gets thrown in, no follow-up, and we are just looking for a kill now. Who is going to falter first?
Spree's got Grav ready to go, but Spree falls before Grav can come out.
So big, the Discord orb making all the difference there. Able to take him out so quick. We're having a couple of kills, getting traded back and forth, but it's the Houston Outlaws who are losing out here. Dante down, and this is going to be the Valiant stabilizing. Not a single tick of progress here on the second point, and that's going to be it.
However, with a minute, you're kind of okay with that. You got first point. You almost got some progress on the second point, but I mean, a minute, if you fail your first fight, you just don't get anything.
You're done, exactly. That was remarkable stuff coming in from the Outlaws. A little bit of the brilliant show. Just not able to get it locked down on the end there. And once again, we're just seeing, not quite the follow-up when you're seeing those big the big ults, the fight-winning ults getting thrown in. It's kind of dragging on for both of these teams, but for now, it's the Valiant coming out ahead, and we are going to get to see now the Valiant with 3 minutes and 46 seconds in the bank. They got a lot of time to work with.
Have to take the first point. After that, it's going to be impossible for them to lose. A draw would be the worst case scenario for them, but even then, going to Route 66 next, you'll take a draw.
Because that's not pretty, as you pointed out earlier. It's not a pretty place for the Houston Outlaws. Not a joyful place. A lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of loss.
But you'd think it'd be like a home map, lore-wise. Yeah, you got the Outlaws. It reminds me a bit of West Texas out there. Route 66 goes through Texas. Like, come on.
It's true. It could be like Arizona or something.
I mean, although fair enough, Route 66 does end in Los Angeles, right at the Santa Monica Pier. So, Valiant home match as well. Goes far. Goes pretty far.
Is Santa Monica part of Los Angeles earlier? Or is it just like its own little offshoot?
Yeah, fair enough. Ends at the pier. All right, offense coming out. No surprises here. Fate on the Winston, a bit of an interesting wrinkle. This is what they ran on their first one, though, so you got to be able to control the high ground, and you need Winston to be able to do that.
This did not really work for them the first time around, though. They did eventually switch over to the Reinhardt.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how long Fate decides to stay on this. That put him behind in the ult battle. Izayaki, nice heals. Spot healing coming in from agilities, keeps him up. And Muma, there to drop, and there to cut them in half. He's trying, but the focus fire is so good. He's getting the bubble, but that's not going to be enough. Everybody there on the Valiant just collapsing on him.
Yeah, but Space got in a little bit of trouble. Houston trying to rotate back into the corner. They get caught in the corner. Izayaki, 2 kills.
Oh, man, once again, Izayaki's just going on a tear. And there it is. So quick, so clean. 5 alive for the Valiant, and they're going to get the job done here on the first point. They are going to have so much time to work with.
Yeah, you rally in, and then Izayaki can hit Transcendence whenever you want. Fate should be able to get up to Primal, too, if they choose to stay on Winston. But they know that Dante didn't do much.
Yep.
So this is a great chance for them. I think Agilities, it's time to smash Q and rally in.
Yep, just go in there. You need 1 tick.
The longer this goes, the worse it's going to be for them.
Let's see. There's the rally. Trying to get everybody in. Looking for the stun onto Muma. Dante gets spotted in the back line. Izayaki going to force him out. And now Izayaki's got the trance. He can hang out in the back. He knows that EMP is about to come online. So he's trying to play around these angles here, trying to hide himself. And sure enough, he's going to dodge it. Sure enough, Izayaki's got the trance. And once again, makes it happen for his team. What a madman.
Up for Ruckus. He solo grab onto Kareev. I like it because now they're going to get a couple of kills. Primal Rage doesn't end up pulling off anything. And that's a hold for Houston.
Whoa. Despite all of that, I mean, with everybody apart from Izaki, maybe there's a limit to what one Omnic can do.
Yes, there's definitely a limit there. Still plenty of time on the clock. Only 33% needed for the victory for the Los Angeles Valiant. Kariv has Graviton, so they're going to switch over to a Reinhardt as well, because if you can grab and swing the hammer through, you just saw some support ultimates come out. And Space has self-destruct ready to go as well. Decent spot here. The Valiant. Oh my god.
Oh, there it is. There's the pick. Yep, Space just goes charging in. Now you've got an opening to work with. A little bit of a thorn in your side with Dante kind of poking at the edges, obviously trying to work his way up to that EMP.
Grab in.
There's the grab. Sound barrier used by Boink, trying to keep his team up. Space is low. Muma, though, is going to be the one to fall here. Jake is still alive, though, trying to contest on the point. Once again, they cannot back off for an instant here on the Houston side. EMP is in. Izaki this time will not survive it. Still a couple of kills on the board here, and the Houston Outlaws looking like they're going to stabilize somehow.
It's just Kariv left there. The self-destruct was in the back corner trying to get a couple. Unable to really clean it up, though. Now back to the drawing board. Good heals came in. Muma got off the Rhine onto the Hammonds. Now he's just trying to chase people down. I think he's going to go back to spawn very likely. It's just desperation time. Hammond very quick. Very good stall hero. And now we've flipped this script again. Spree has his grab. Kariv does not, but he did a good job of staying in that fight and getting some ultimates up. But again, we have Rally and Transcendence ready to go. So you can get in here, rally in here. As long as you catch the platform bus. There you go. All aboard.
All aboard. Miss Frizzle, where are we going today?
Please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times.
Agilities now. He's got the rally. Is he going to do it? There it is. All right, rally in. Let's see. Can they get the follow through? Monstrous amounts of damage getting dealt, and Dante somehow gets caught in the thick of it. Agility is going to get smushed against the wall. Izaki, not a whole lot that he can do, it seems.
Well, they've got them separated just a little bit, but unable to find kills. Good bubbles there. On to Muma, keeps him alive, and Houston completely cleans it up. Only 20 seconds left. We might be drawing out here on Volskaya.
Oh, man, and then it's just, that's it. Then we're going to go to the final map, Route 66, and it's all going to play out there.
Yeah, Izayaki's going to go to Moira just so that he can have the sustain. He just used Transcendence on that fight. Maybe gets an ultimate going. It charges very fast, but outside the gates, an EMP, and they're not even going to touch it.
Oh, what a perfect EMP. Get out. Draw. That is it. We're still 1-1 here. And it's all going to get decided on the final map of this series, the fourth one that will be coming up next. It's Route 66, and we'll see who's going to come out ahead here. Will it be the Houston Outlaws or will it be the Los Angeles Valiant? We'll find out after the break.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
Space Day.
Wow, space.
Space Day.
Space Day.
Well, Spacey looks smiley right there. Were they just taking the mickey out of him? Or
No, in my opinion, every day is Space Day. He's been so consistent for this team. He's having himself a really good game. Happy guy. Always gets bombs, but D.Va getting bombs, not really that big of a deal. I mean, eating ultimates is what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Knocking people off high ground, staying alive, just getting kills, chasing them down, being where you're supposed to be at all times so your team just doesn't have to worry about stuff.
That's the beauty of playing D.Va. That's why I play her. That's why I destroyed everybody. You know,
Every time.
you know, you just have so many tools in the toolbox, and Space right now really showing that he's got it memorized. He knows the layout of his toolbox. The hammer's right there where it's supposed to be, and he's dropping it, Hex.
If you're playing at home, you're never going to get credit for it, but a good D.Va does everything and no one even notices.
Yes, exactly.
Next map, Route 66. This one for all of the marbles. We're not going to go to a map 5. Whoever wins Route 66 will win the set. Let's take a look at how Houston's been on Route 66 thus far.
Well, you know, Houston have got one thing going for them. They drawed, at least on Volsky, instead of losing and going 0-3. So, you know, they're halfway there.
That's a bad all-time record. 2-9 is not very good. They've historically struggled on this map. Let's kick it off. They're on the offense first. An aggressive hold early here for the Los Angeles Valiant defense.
Interesting. Well, okay then. How is that playing out? Oh, right. Yeah, they get to pick it. Right. All right, let's get into it. Houston Outlaws on the offense. So let's see, what are they capable of? Route 66. And Kareev. Just, you know, kind of chilling out up here. Wondering when the cart is going to roll by. Guy's thirsty.
Yeah, no surprise that they're going to run the Sombra here. It's worked out rather well for them in the season thus far. But now Los Angeles has been able to play around it really well. Izyaki's done a good job.
1-for-1 trade. We lose both Rhines.
It's way better for Houston, though. Look, their spawn's right there.
Exactly right. And so now you're going to see the Valiant start to give a little bit of ground without that shield to hide behind. They're vulnerable. They know it. And, well, who else knows it? Houston Outlaws. They're going to go ahead and get a good punish on Izayaki.
Yeah, just going to pick him off. Now they're going to retreat, but Izayaki out of the fight. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, they're going to send...
But is he Yaki?
Was he Yaki, more likely. He got killed really early.
It was Yucky. That's all I'll say.
They're going to send the Lucio back to get him before they fight. This is really interesting that Kareev is out here all alone. Gets back to his team, gets healed up.
Just wants to get that energy, wants to do the damage, wants to bring the pain.
Dante nearing EMP. 95%. Charges so fast. Kuki got hacked. Kuki will get healed up, though.
But in the hands of a competent Sombra, man. There it is. EMP online. Can he find the targets? He's looking for the juicy. One's in the back line. Trent's going to get used by Raucus. And there it is. A full hack party. Everybody silenced on the side of the Valiant. You're looking for the follow-up. You need another kill, and they are going to find it. There it is. All three. Soon to be 4. And the Houston Outlaws, thanks to Dante there. That is perfect. They will get the first point.
Such a powerful ultimate. He caught absolutely everybody in it. Now, first checkpoint will be taken. It'll be interesting to see where the defense of the Valiant wants to set up. A lot of teams are taking fights right outside this gate. Sometimes you want to take the high ground, which is where they're right now. It does seem like they're going to acquiesce, give up some space here. Speaking of space, he's still looking for Dante.
He's always got his eye on him, right? Dante in the back line. Izayaki gets picked by Spree, though. That's not going to help things. No Discord, no damage, no fun. But there it is, the counter grab coming in, bringing them all up for the party. And Valiant, they're the ones coming out ahead in that fight. Nice recovery on their point.
It's a recovery. They end up committing Sound Barrier to that, though, which may have been a little overuse of abilities, but it did guarantee that they won the fight. Dante's all the way back on third point, hacking packs, making sure his translocators got him in a safe spot. He will rejoin the team. 90% on EMP.
Yeah, once again, rally used by Jake. It's just hope, like, come on, fight me. And, well, everybody on Valiant, they're not having any of it.
No, you don't engage into another team that's rallying onto you. There's no point to do it. They're not even going to get that much progress here.
Yeah, nice contest game getting played here by Fate. Trent's going to be used immediately by Izayaki, but now that's going to be a great delay on the grab from Spree, looking for the follow-up. Not going to get it. They lose Jake instead on the Outlaws, and Dante's out in the open as well.
That seems like they're getting pushed back just a little bit. I thought the EMP was going to come off on that and really commit to it. With how fast it's charging, there's the EMP, gets himself 3 into it.
Gets himself 3. Izyaki's still alive, though, and still bringing the pain. Fate dropping dangerously low, but he does get support from his team.
There's the grab and the counter there. Cleaned up completely. Team kill for the Los Angeles Valiant.
Wow.
I mean, after they used that grab, Dante was out of position. He wasn't ready to EMP early. And so that they got cleaned up there. And then the EMP comes in later without any kind of crowd control.
Without any follow-up.
They get nothing out of it. And
I'm wondering about these decisions. These decisions on the Outlaw side. It's looking a little clunky here. Not really getting the benefit. And now from Izyaki's perspective, just looking for the volleys, looking for the headshots.
I mean, the 3-3 meta has led to so many spawn camps that I'd never seen before. Literally never happened before. Because you know the other team is not running flankers or anything to get behind you during your day. So you can just sit right at the door, make them use ults just to have the ability to fight.
Oh, buddy. Spree getting dinked. Off into the distance you go. Fate not able to make it back. Nope. Still, I mean, this still favors the Valiant right now, and Outlaws are now cut up. Boink and Raucous, well, it looks like they're going to go ahead and give ground, because guess what's happening this whole time? The bit of the back cap, Dante, just getting whatever he can out of that payload.
It's a little bit of value. Does not go too far, so it doesn't really change the positional nature of where you want to be fighting now. But now they're going to get it around the bend, so it will. Those few meters ended up making a difference.
Thing is, that cost valuable time here for the Houston Outlaws. They're down to 1.5 minutes. Spree could put the grab into the wall right here. Do they have a follow-up or not? That's the question. I have to be wondering. He's a little low on energy still. Spots out Space, knows where that guy's playing from. Space always one to set the bait, though. We'll see.
Yeah, got the high ground control here. Space up there. He's still probably just dematrixing Spree. Spree might be a little gun shy. He's had a couple ultimates eaten today.
Yeah,
Dante's
exactly.
way out of this fight. There's the grab.
Yeah, hides it at his feet, literally. And guess what that does? It just brings an angry Rhine on top of him. Swings a hammer in his face, and what was that?
That was perfect for the Valiant, is what it was. You use one ultimate, you win a team fight completely. The other side of things, 6 ults online for the Houston Outlaws, going into what is very likely going to be the final fight. However, as long as the Valiant are smart and don't engage right here and use ultimates, they're going to have 5 of their own. So, welcome to the Q Fiesta incoming.
Exactly.
No need to hold them. It's your last fight to push the cart.
Start cracking them open. Let's go. Houston Outlaws. There's the rally. Countered by the rally. Now let's get into the fight. What comes next? EMP. Big hacks, but Izayaki had the trance online. Gets stunned a little bit, but that's fine. He's involved. He doesn't care. Backs off into the grab we go. Now the follow-up. Do they have the focus fire? It looks like it. Houston Outlaws starting to get some kills. Still 2 ults to be used on the one side, but that's not going to matter in the end.
Yeah, they clean it up. Are able to get this second checkpoint. Team kill. I don't believe they're going to try to contest this. The spawns are just now coming in for everybody.
Shouldn't be able to make it back.
They're trying to go through that door is just a terrible idea.
Yeah, Dante getting a hack in the back line as well is just going to slow him down. This is going to be a second point picked up for the Houston Outlaws by the skin of their teeth. They get it done.
It does seem like now they want to come out there. They want to fight behind the cart.
They're going to go ahead and try and buy some time here. I mean, Fate. Gotta be careful. Somehow they do not get a kill on Fate. It's Izayaki getting a kill on Raucous instead. And Izayaki just going on a tear, headshot after headshot. The guy's relentless.
It has been so fun to watch for him. Like he's up there in stats across a lot of Zenyatas, but after this game today, he might be leapfrogging some of these elite Zenyatas we got in the Overwatch League. 53 seconds remain. A lot of ultimates online for both sides. Dante 77, that's the big EMP ultimate we've been talking about all game.
And look at this positioning again here. He knows that EMP isn't far off, so he's going to be trying to hide, trying to play these angles. Agilities takes down Boink to kick things off in the fight. Only 30 seconds on the clock here for Houston Outlaws. You got to back off and die fast. You're only going to get one more shot at this, but then everybody's got ults again. This is nuts.
It's all about execution. Both these teams have struggled in combination execution throughout the entirety of the league. Valiant trying to finally pull off the big bomb combo if they can get it. EMP into this is going to be brutal. I would love to see the Valiant take the fight before this happens.
Look at all of them spread out right now on the Valiant side. You want an EMP? You're only going to catch a couple, and sure enough, only taking Fate. You need to get the kill on Fate. You need to do something here on the Houston Outlaws side. It's going to be grabs going down left and right, and sure enough, a couple kills go their way, but then Izayaki's going to take Muma out, and we've lost Spree on the side of the Outlaws. A lot of damage out the window. Raucous, he's only late to the party because he didn't have his ult when this fight started.
Space got hacked. He's going to be taken out as well, so the cart will continue to push for the Houston Outlaws. Although what was once 12 ultimates is now 0 ultimates, we have reset into the most basic form of Overwatch.
They just use everything. No holding back. And so, now we're going to get to see. Can they swing hammers? Can they get ults online? Dante doing a good job of getting back up to the EMP. He might be the first. Although Izayaki isn't too far away.
They showed they were able to hack Winston immediately. Now he's not able to pressure the cart down at all. Reeves up top, just beaming away, trying to get some kills. If Houston steps off this cart at all, they will end their push.
Dude, Kareem couldn't be in a better spot.
This is great.
There it is. Just like that, they whittle him down, and this will be a successful hold for the Valiant. Denied the 3 points. The Houston Outlaws. Only 2 on the board for Houston, so it's just funny because we don't actually get to see that often, where both teams are actually just straight saving up for 6-6.
Yeah, it's impossible to really tell what's even happening at some time. I mean, there's so many ults that come out. Yeah, too much happens. It's just about focus fire, target calling, and making sure that you're all on the same target for the damage.
I don't even think players know that who's coming out on top in this situation. It's like, did we win? Did we win? Yeah.
A Transcendence comes in. You have to switch targets immediately. Of like, oh, I can't fire at him anymore. What's the point? Let's try to find someone who's caught out. And you have to imagine the comms are just chaos too, because everyone thinks they've got someone isolated, or you're stuck in a grab and you're calling for bubbles. It's a bit of a mess, but it's our mess.
We're owning it. It's our mess, Hex. We thrive in this mess. Ooh, that was... I'm digging the new music, guys. Good job. Good timing for the Woodcraft.
Dante only died once that round. Much more intelligent play. He had a rough couple rounds today on Sombra, but that one worked out really well. Getting ults at 136 apiece, though, that seems slow.
A little bit on the slow
I don't know what the league average is, though, but EMP just seems like an ult that's always there.
Mm-hmm. You have certain ones that just manage to farm, but this has been such a chaotic game that perhaps you're not getting the openings you're used to.
Right.
Not quite finding it.
Well, he's holding it a little longer too, so that can mess with your timings.
Boink, just getting the last hitch in before it's time to start the fight.
Valiant gonna try to win this one, win their first series of the Overwatch League 2019 season.
Houston Outlaws need to get it done though, because they're still in the running for the Stage 1 playoffs. All or nothing for both of these teams, in the sense that the Valiants, it's honor on the line here.
You just got to get that 0 off the board so you can move on mentally.
Oh, buddy, space.
Oh, space.
Ejected. Get out. Solid hold for the Outlaws to kick things off. Kareev will find Jake, though.
That's good. Yeah, any trades you can get in this position are going to be good for you, because Jake is now out of the mix. You're going to get respawns right here, right at the diner.
Yes.
And you can see Houston reacting to this by backing up, trying to get as much chip damage as they can. But they're going to fall back. You can't fight anymore.
Yeah, didn't do as good a job as the Valiants on the hold initially. Quite a bit of time on the clock here still for the Valiant to work with.
Dante already at 80%.
Oh, Raucus has got Trance as well. That was a sick volley. Okay, so we will have Trance. And we should have the EMP, and they are grouped up once again. This time Izayaki is not able to dodge it. Full hack all across the board, and this is going to be brutal. There it is. For once, Dante catches Izayaki sleeping.
Yeah, I got a 5-man hack there. Back to the drawing board for the Valiant, as they will try to regroup into spawn. Although you can breathe a little easier now. At least you know EMP's out. At least you know it got used.
And you know the rest of it is on the way as well. Movement with the Shatter. Spree's nearly got the grab. Kuki and Boink are pretty much neck and neck right now in terms of the sound barrier, though. So let's see. Fairly balanced as we go into it. Valiant straight onto the payload now. Not too worried about sticking together when they know that EMP isn't a threat. Spree has to work up to that grab. He's got to get it quick, and he's trying here. Nearly done it. That could be the big ults that's going to get thrown into the mix. That or Jake's rally to kick things off.
They might go in off a hack here. Dante's in a good position behind them. He's going to be able to get a single hack onto Kuki.
Yeah, there it is. Not able to find Izayaki. Muma gets knocked off course, so he's not going to be able to pull him out, but we will have him trading rallies on both sides. Bit of a delay on Agility's side. There's the big stun, the Shatter combo. Izayaki, the focus is there, and he somehow survives. No, Boy catches him in the end. Fist to the face, take a nap. Agility's has to back off, and on the Valiant side of things, they're sent back to spawn.
Everything thrown in there, too. Everything that they had available late. A Graviton comes in, no cleanup there. And now you have to be worried, because you can kind of expect an EMP at least every other fight. 72%. Didn't have it last time, should have it this time. We're going to have to look at Izyaki's positioning here to try to stay alive at least. He doesn't have Transcendence, but Zenyatta just melts when he gets EMP'd. All of his shields come off. He goes down to 50 HP. Kuki's got Sound Barrier, though, so again, another small mini-game between the Sombra and the Lucio.
Dude, Dante is so fast at charging up the EMPs now, though. He's nearly got it online again. Looking for it. Self-destruct. Gonna go off. Timing is there. Yep. Does get the Sound Barrier. Raucous not gonna fall. Instead, it's Fate getting focused. And this is it. Houston Outlaws just crushing this push. Valiant hoping to get some value out of it. And they do get the grab, but Dante, he wisely holds onto the EMP. I mean, this could be all about the EMP now. If Dante gets a monster EMP off, it's going to be so tough for the Valiant.
It'd be a completely different fight had they used it. You'd feel okay if you're Valiant. So they do have both support ultimates incoming. Actually, all three as Agilities comes online as Rally. It might be time to just rally in. You're 30 seconds left, and a sustained fight in a 3-3 is going to take 30 seconds. All on the line for the Los Angeles Valiant here.
They're grouped up. Izayaki trying to stay hidden. Not trying to show himself here. Dante out in the open. Goes for the MP. There it is. Trance is used by Izayaki. Once again, he succeeds in dodging. So the follow-up here, buying time. They do get smashed. Space, however, is there, but Muma gets pinned in the diner, and that's not going to help. We're not at the diner, the gas station, but still, he's down. He's out. And there's a chance for the Valiant to battle through. Of course, the Houston Outlaws, they're stuck.
It was a nice sound barrier, too, to make sure that they were going to stay alive and healthy. Now some members falling a little bit low. Muma's coming back in. This one's not over yet.
They just can't seem to find Izayaki. And now you've got Space Demect as well. Jake dies, so that's the CC out, but you're getting caught in the corner, and that's not going to be good. Spree's got so much energy now, he's just melting. And another EMP gets thrown in by Dante. Agility's already had the rally going, but he's going to die, and this is it. Overtime over in Houston Outlaws. Houston Outlaws finding a win on Route 66 and crushing the hopes of the Valiant.
They have exercised their demons on Route 66 against a team that had to have that game. Winless now in Stage 1 of Los Angeles Valiant. Houston's dreams of Stage 1 playoffs still alive. They've got Atlanta up next.
They're in the 7th circle, the 7th ring right now. Let's see if it keeps getting worse for the Valiant, but Houston, they've succeeded today. It was a rough start, but they managed to get the job done. Space, man on your screen there, did everything he could, played out of his mind. But it wasn't enough today to find a win for his team.
Space, a good friend with a lot of these guys on Houston Outlaws. They all came up in the North American scene together on varying different teams and played against and with each other for a very long time. That is a rough stage for the Valiant, to say the least, but Houston, the brighter green, shines brighter today.
Yeah, remarkable stuff on the Houston side in the end. Keeping it together on that last, or on the first point there of Route 66. Thought for a second it was going to slip through their fingers, but they managed to rally. They managed to keep it good together, and now we're going to go ahead and hand it over to Mika for an interview.
Thanks, guys. We got Dante here, the littlest outlaw, as I like to call you now. And give it up for Dante, everybody. There's a huge Outlaws crowd over there. They look nice in green and black. So you, as I mentioned, are the littlest outlaw. You're the newest rookie. You're the newest recruit here. And you've been playing pretty well, and you guys are in contention for the stage playoff. So how are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. We just need one more win, hopefully. I'm not sure how the map differential and stuff accounts into it, but it's looking pretty good for us. And it's unfortunate that we lost the first 2 matches because they were really close map 5s. And if we won those 2, then we'd be 5-1 right now, which would be insane. But unlucky.
That's how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. Well, I talked to Flame during the half, and he said that you guys are pretty sure that your next match will be winnable. So how are you feeling going into it, and what's the preparation going up against the Atlanta Reign?
I'm feeling pretty good. We just won 2 matches in a row. We got to prepare for them because they've been really good, and they are a beatable team because I think any team is beatable this meta, except for maybe Nixel and Vancouver. They're looking pretty strong, but any team is beatable, so I think we can just prep our hardest and beat them.
Well, I like your confidence, and I loved seeing you play today, and I'm sure that they all did as well, so thank you so much, Dante. And that's all we have down here, sending up back to the casters.
Thank you, Mika. And I like his honesty as well. You know, it's like that is the state of things. Excelsior still sitting at the top of the pack, as you guys can see in the standings, and the Titans right behind them. Those two teams are really the dominant force in this stage so far.
Well, I mean, it works out really well for the Outlaws that they have Rain next. You can shake up the standings so much when you beat teams that are ahead of you. You see the Outlaws jumped all the way up here, so that Atlanta Rain matchup going to be a very, very important one. And Dante's right, they lost the Defiant and Uprising battles very closely. New York, yeah, they lost 4-0, but that's New York. That's happens.
New York.
But I think they found their strategy. Now it's just a matter of sticking with it. Like, a lot of teams have been reticent to run Sombra as much as some others. It works. Obviously, it works. Houston's at their best when they run Sombra, when Dante's in the roster.
Oh, well, there you go. Speak of the devil, and speak of the MVP. Brought to you by Owen by HP. Dante, going to be our man of the match. And a total beast at that. He excelled. As soon as it was a rough start because he was on Tracer in the first map. He really didn't get into that Sombra phase until later on in the series. But once he was there, man, he was just beasting.
Had a lot of deaths early on, and then he just really kind of got it together. It was totally fine. This EMP outside when it was only 5 seconds left, a complete shutdown, a big brain play to make sure that they don't even get in. And then he was just finding the correct targets. Izayaki did a great job of staying alive and out of most of these EMPs, but you're not going to be able to do it 100% of the time. Dante, I think, is the catalyst for this team, making them go. It's a big reason why they traded for him is, yes, we need a Tracer player, but I think we might be going into a Sombra meta. So great pickup for them, and he's been worthwhile. One of the greatest additions in the offseason.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, there you have it there, all the stats. Enemies hacked. I mean, a little bit... took him a little bit to kind of hit his stride getting those EMPs online, but towards the end there, I mean, it's just like an EMP every fight, and that's going to be so key, and that's really a big part of how the Houston Outlaws were able to win it. So, guys, this was only the first match of the day. Seoul Dynasty versus the Washington Justice will be coming up next on the stream, so don't go anywhere. We're taking a quick break, and we'll be getting into that.
Wait, throw it down. Let's go, guys. Let's go. I love you guys. Whoa.
Yo, in and out. Can I get a table of 6?
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered.